Welcome to the deep dive. Ready to dive into another Reddit post with me today?
Always. What kind of rabbit hole are we going down today?
So this one is about a teen dealing with some, well, let's just say questionable behavior from her mom's fiance.
Ooh, okay. Family drama. Always a good time.
It starts out, kind of normal. The poster's dad passed away 5 years ago, which of course was really hard on her and her mom.
Losing a parent, especially at a young age, can be incredibly difficult. I imagine they're both still navigating their grief in their own ways.
Yeah, and about a year ago, her mom started dating again and eventually got engaged to this guy, Dave.
Okay, and how's the poster feeling about this new guy in their lives?
Well, she says she never expected him to replace her dad, and she was trying to be, open-minded about the whole thing.
It's important for kids to feel like they have the space to process those feelings, especially when a new partner enters the picture.
Exactly. But as time went on, she started noticing these little red flags about Dave, like making comments about her mom's appearance or ignoring her in conversations.
Ugh, classic signs of a controlling personality. It often starts subtly, little digs here and there before escalating into something more serious.
Yeah, it's like death by a thousand paper cuts kind of thing.
Exactly, and it sounds like the poster is picking up on these patterns.
And she even compares Dave to her own dad, who she says was always loving and respectful. So that contrast makes Dave's actions stand out even more.
It shows she has a good understanding of healthy relationship dynamics.
But then things get really weird. She starts feeling like her privacy is being invaded, like finding her journals moved around in her room.
Whoa, that's not cool. A teen's bedroom should be a sanctuary, a space where they can feel safe to express themselves.
And she had specifically told Dave to never read her journals.
Oh no, did he?
He totally did. And when she confronted him about it, he just played it off like it was no big deal, saying he was curious.
Ugh, talk about a breach of trust. That's not just disrespectful, it's also a form of emotional manipulation.
Yeah, they had a huge fight. And even though her mom was angry with Dave, he just kind of shrugged it off, which, is not exactly reassuring.
Not a great sign for a guy who's about to become a stepdad. It speaks volumes about his lack of respect for boundaries and the impact of his actions.
Oh, and it gets so much worse.
Yeah.
Remember how the poster mentioned finding a strand of long, wavy red hair in the shower that didn't belong to her or her mom?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, she comes home from school early one day and sees a car in the driveway she doesn't recognize.
Okay.
And she sees Dave, wait for it, kissing someone in the car.
No way.
And you know what? The woman in the car has long, wavy red hair.
Oh my gosh, the plot thickens.
Right. She managed to snap a few pictures before hiding to see what would happen next.
Smart move. That's some quick thinking.
So she calls her mom, tells her everything, sends her the pictures, and you know what her mom does?
What? Tell me.
She dumps Dave.
Yes. Finally.
Right. She picks her daughter up from the park, and they head back home to confront Dave together.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Standing up for herself and her daughter. I love to see it.
I know it would have been so easy for her mom to just dismiss the poster's concerns, but she totally believed her daughter.
Shows the deep trust and respect they have for each other.
So, this deep dive is just getting started. We've got a teen who's not afraid to stand up for herself, a fiancé who's not who he seems to be, and a mom who's done with his nonsense.
I'm on the edge of my seat. Can't wait to see how this all unfolds in part 2.
You too.
Okay, so where did we leave off? Oh yeah, the poster and her mom were heading home to confront Dave. Photographic evidence in hand, ready to show him they weren't messing around.
Yeah, no more Mrs. Nice Mom.
I can just imagine the energy shift when they walked back into that house.
And you know what's amazing? Her mom was totally calm and collected. Just told Dave to pack his bags.
Wow, what a boss move.
No yelling or anything, just like, nope, you're done. It's like a switch flipped.
She went from loving fiancé to I know my worth in like 2 seconds flat.
But of course, Dave doesn't just slink away quietly. The poster said she heard him yelling at her mom. Then like a crashing sound.
Oh no, what happened?
He broke a potted plant, like in a fit of rage.
Oh, so typical. Abusers often lash out when they feel like they're losing control.
It's a good thing the poster and her mom had each other for support during that moment.
Absolutely. Safety in numbers, as they say.
And then this really powerful thing happened. The poster's mom took off her engagement ring and just dropped it on the floor.
Whoa, symbolic much.
Right, like she was cutting all ties with Dave and his drama.
Reclaiming her power.
Love it.
And you know what they did next? They packed their bags and went straight to a hotel.
Smart move. Getting out of that toxic environment.
They ignored all of Dave's calls too, like they were done.
giving themselves space to process and heal.
When they got back home the next morning, Dave was gone, but he left all his stuff behind.
What did they do? Did they pack it up?
Oh, no. They did something way better.
Tell me.
They put all of his stuff out on the front lawn for the whole neighborhood to see.
Oh my gosh, yes. That is the best.
It was like his giant "we're done with you" message.
And the poster added her own touch to the whole thing. Remember the engagement ring her mom dropped?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, she found it along with this super pathetic note from Dave, like begging her mom to take him back.
Can you believe the audacity of this guy?
Seriously. But the poster, she's a genius. She put the ring back in the box, added her own little note, and put it right on top of all of Dave's stuff out on the lawn.
Savage.
I love it.
The ultimate mic drop.
Now, there were some comments on the Reddit post about the poster being close with a male teacher at her school.
Yeah, those kinds of relationships can be tricky sometimes.
Right. People were like, is this appropriate given everything that was going on?
People are quick to jump to conclusions online, aren't they?
Totally. But the poster explained that the teacher had become like a father figure to her, especially after losing her dad.
Makes sense. She needed someone to confide in. And she made it clear that their interactions were always appropriate, like at school or church, never anything weird.
Sounds like he was just trying to be a supportive mentor.
Yeah, and she even accidentally called the teacher dad a few times, which totally embarrassed her.
Oh, that's kind of sweet, though. It shows how much she valued their relationship.
In the last update, the poster said that she and her mom are doing a lot better and that Dave has tried to contact them, but they're ignoring him.
Good. They don't owe him anything.
And when Dave showed up at their house trying to, smooth things over,
Oh, no, he didn't.
her mom called the police.
You go, Mama. Protecting her peace.
This story is insane. Red flags, betrayal, a mother-daughter power move, and a whole lot of karma.
Talk about a wild ride. And we're not done yet. There's still so much to unpack about this whole situation and what we can all learn from it.
Okay, so we've seen the red flags, the betrayal, the mom and daughter teaming up to take back their lives. It's been a wild ride.
It really has. But through it all, there are some really important lessons we can all take away.
For sure. First and foremost, trusting your gut. If something feels wrong in a relationship, it probably is.
Absolutely. Don't ignore those red flags, even the little ones.
And setting boundaries, that's huge.
So important. Knowing your limits and being able to communicate them clearly.
It's like what the poster's mom did, finally saying enough is enough with Dave.
Exactly. And it's not always easy, especially when you're in the thick of it.
Right. But having a support system can make all the difference.
Like the poster and her mom had each other. And the online community, too, offering advice and encouragement.
Speaking of online communities, it's interesting how they can be both a source of support and judgment.
Yeah, remember how some people questioned the poster's relationship with her teacher?
Totally. They didn't have all the information, but they were quick to jump to conclusions.
It's a good reminder that online spaces can be like echo chambers sometimes, where people only hear what they want to hear.
And that it's important to think critically about what we read online and not just believe everything we see.
Definitely. We all need to be more mindful of the information we're consuming and sharing.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some things we can all take away from the poster story?
Well, I think it's a powerful reminder that we all have the strength to overcome challenges, even when they seem insurmountable.
And that sometimes the best thing we can do is walk away from toxic situations.
For sure. Prioritize your well-being and surround yourself with people who lift you up.
The poster and her mom showed us that it's possible to find strength and healing, even after betrayal and heartbreak.
And that sometimes the best revenge is just living a good life.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Uh,
Well, that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us as we explored this crazy Reddit saga.
It's been a pleasure.
Don't forget to check out other episodes of Voices of the Soul for more deep dives into the human experience.
And be sure to subscribe to Shauna Pelage on YouTube for even more fascinating content.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive.